Breaking news: Oba of Benin and Governor Godwin Obaseki for showdown over looted artifacts by UK. Hello, my wonderful people. Something is not quite right. You know, we all know that the old Benin Empire was a great one. They have their own civilization at that time, one of the top civilized nations in Nigeria, where when the whites came then, they met with the Oba of Benin, and some of the things, apart from human being that were extradited from Nigeria, taken to some parts of this part of the world like Europe, America, and the rest. What also they did was what they took items from Benin. Some of these items were made with pure gold, some of bronze, some of silver, good quality artsmanship, decent work being done. They took them away, along with human being. But recently, as the life and things are beginning to unfold, they are ready to return some of this loot, and some of the artifacts that were taken by the UK government are coming back home. But why Oba is saying it should come to the palace, Obaseki is saying it should come to the state. Let's get all the details. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if this is your first time. Let's get all the details. Breaking news: Oba of Benin and Obaseki for showdown over looted artifacts by UK. Except a compromise is reached by the Oba of Benin and the governor of the state, Governor Godwin Obaseki, they are heading for a showdown over the impending return by Germany and the United Kingdom of artifacts stolen from the Great Benin Kingdom. The Benin Palace in 1897 during a raid by the colonial invaders, why the monarch favored the return of the artifacts to a museum to be built by the palace within its premises, or in the alternative, a museum to be built and managed by the federal and state government. The palace believed the governor prefers a private trust to take custody of the manage to take custody and manage the ancient precious artwork. However, Obaseki told This Day that he was working on an arrangement involving the federal and state governments, the Oba of Benin, and a private trust that will manage the artifacts on behalf of the palace and the people. I intend to work with the Oba of Benin in an arrangement that will be led by the federal government. Why is it led by the federal government? These were things done by Benin people. I don't know. Let me finish. I don't know. Obaseki said, I intend to work with the Oba of Benin in an arrangement that will be led by the federal government. So what will be Oba's word in this matter? He told This Day, accusing a palace chief of misleading the relevant Oba monarch about his plans. He said he would straighten out things with the monarch on his return from Germany, where he and the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Mai Mohammed, are currently negotiating and insisting on unconditional repatriation of the artifacts. Notwithstanding, the prevailing quarrel in Benin will become public knowledge today as Oba addresses the historic press conference, a first ever signposting the importance he attached to the issue. This Day learned that the prevailing crisis may repel the bitter aspect of the history of the ancient Benin Kingdom dated back to the 1897 when British invaded the kingdom, subdued the Oba, then plunged and looted his palace and sent him to exile. A Benin chief named Obaseki, said to be great-grandfather of the current governor, was apprehended by the palace historian as one of those who betrayed the Oba then, Obaseki's grand-grandfather. Are you listening? And made the British expedition a success. He said it was a British chief, a Benin chief. Apparently, when they traced it back, it was this governor Gordon Obaseki, grandfather. His name is Obaseki. Was a chief. He was the one. You know, so now the rats when they house. Now I go tell the one for outside say, "Come chop. We make fish." They hide them for inside the oven and they on top of the rack. The rack don't cool. We fit go chop the fish now. Get what we are saying exactly. The current standoff thereby therefore had a touch of history. A Benin chief told This Day last night, pointing out that it is significant that another Obaseki is at play on the occasion, history repeating itself. This Day gathered that following the immense of the return of the looted artifacts by the UK, Germany, and French government, Obaseki came up with a grand plan to form a private trust not owned by the state government to take custody of the returned artifacts. His plan is to is gathered the plan is to guarantee is to have a private trust build a museum for West Africa Arts in Benin, the state capital, where the artifacts will be kept and rated. Later, Legends Restoration Trust, a private entity, This Day Land has since emerged, paddling itself as the authorized custody of the artifacts and not the Benin Empire. The Oba is said to have opposed this move on the ground that it will amount to private appreciation of the cultural heritage of the Benin, it will become privatized. While the monarch is said not to be opposed to the idea of the federal and state government taking custody of the artifacts and keeping it in a museum to be built by them, he has expressed his opposition to a private trust managing the ancient artwork. The Oba position is one that has said the returned artifacts should be placed in the palace where they were stolen from, containing that the palace could not could on its own build a museum where they will be kept and managed by the palace. This position was well articulated in a statement by the Benin Traditional Council on the 10th of May 2021 and signed by its secretary, Mr. Frank Eboro, and the executive assistant corporate and legal affair, Mr. Dennis. Disowning Legal Restoration Trust and Legacy. Legal Restoration Trust said they are parading themselves as the custodian of this ancient Benin treasure. So this is what is happening. Leave us a comment. We'd like to hear from you. And don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. God bless you. Bye for now.